Hey everyone, it's Emma AY from CybrBrief, and today we're going to dive into something that's super important for network security, the 802.1x standard. If you've ever wondered how to make sure only the right people get into your network, you're in the right place. So what is this 802.1x all about? Think of it as your network's bouncer, making sure everyone proves who they are before they can come in. Just like you need a ticket or ID to enter a concert, your computer or even you as a user must show some form of identification before network access is granted. Now let's talk about that X in 802.1x. It stands for extensible, which means this standard can be adapted to fit all kinds of authentication methods. That's what makes it so brilliant. It can grow with your needs, ensuring your network stays secure no matter how technology evolves. Here's how it works in a fun, simple way. Picture you're showing up at a friend's house party. You knock on the door, right? In the network world, your device does the same thing. It knocks by sending an authentication request. This device is what we call a supplicant, essentially saying, "Hey, I want to join the party." That request then goes to the authenticator, which is like the friend who checks if you're actually invited. In network terms, this is usually your network switch or a Wi-Fi access point. They're the gatekeepers, making sure no uninvited guests walk in. But the authenticator doesn't make the final call. It sends your credentials to an authentication server, which is like the host of the party checking the guest list. If your credentials match what's on the list, the server gives the go-ahead, and the authenticator lets you in by opening up the network port. All this chat happens using something called EAPOL, or Extensible Authentication Protocol over LAN. Now, what's really cool about 802.1x is its versatility. It's not just about typing in a password. You could use digital certificates, which are like having a unique ID card that only you possess. Or you can go even further with multi-factor authentication, where you might need a password plus a fingerprint or a special card, making it super hard for imposters to get in. And guess what? 802.1x isn't just for wired connections. It's just as powerful for wireless networks, which is huge because we're all more connected wirelessly than ever before. This means only the right devices and users can use your Wi-Fi, adding a layer of security to prevent unauthorized access. Why does this matter? Well, think about it. If you don't have something like 802.1x, it's like leaving your house keys under the doormat for anyone to find. With 802.1x, even if someone physically connects to your network, they still need to prove they're allowed to be there. This is especially important in places like hospitals or schools where you have visitors or temporary staff. You can set up different networks, one for guests with limited access and another secure network for staff where sensitive data is kept safe. Setting up 802.1x isn't just about pressing a button. You've got to configure your network devices to act as authenticators. Think of it like training your bouncers. Then there's the authentication server, something like Radius, which you need to set up to check everyone's credentials. And every device that wants to connect, be it a laptop, phone, or even your smart fridge, needs to have the right software, called a supplicant, installed. This software does the talking for your device, asking for permission to join the network. But here's the thing, 802.1x isn't just for big companies with giant networks. Even if you're running a small online shop from home, you can use it to make sure only your devices can connect, keeping out those pesky neighbors' drones trying to hack your Wi-Fi. However, no security measure is perfect. 802.1x needs to be part of a bigger security plan. You should regularly update your authentication server and supplicant software to fix any security holes that might pop up. What if someone can't authenticate? You need to think about that. Maybe you set a limit on how many tries someone gets before they're locked out, stopping someone from just guessing passwords all day. And let's not forget, if your authentication process is too complicated, people might look for shortcuts, which could be risky. So you need to make sure it's easy enough for legitimate users while still being secure. When you're thinking about adding 802.1x to your network, you should check if your current equipment can handle it. Some older devices might not support it out of the box or might need a software update. It's all about finding the right balance between security and what's practical. Now let's explore how 802.1x can be applied in real life. Imagine you're managing a community library. You want to provide internet access for visitors, but keep the library's internal systems like the catalog database secure. With 802.1x, you can have a public Wi-Fi network where visitors connect after a simple authentication, while your staff accesses a more secure network requiring stronger credentials. In schools, 802.1x can transform how networks work. With so many devices connecting, you can set up different levels of access. Students can use the internet for their projects, but they can't access the teacher's grading systems or the administrative databases. For businesses, think about how this can ward off internal threats. If someone in marketing accidentally leaves their computer logged in, an unauthorized person can't just plug in and access the finance department's network without authentication. On the tech side, setting up 802.1x means configuring an authentication server. Radius is a popular choice because it's widely used and supported. And if you're going with certificates, you'll need a system to manage them securely, known as PKI. Client devices need to be ready too. Most modern operating systems support 802.1x, but for those quirky IoT devices or smartphones, you might need to install or tweak some software to make them play nice with your security setup. One of the coolest things about 802.1x is how it can work with other security measures. You can connect it to your user database like Active Directory to streamline who gets what access. But security isn't just about getting in, it's about what you can do once you're inside. After authentication, you might set up policies that control what parts of the network a device can access or how much bandwidth they can use, tailoring the network experience to the user's role or device type. What if something goes wrong? Like the authentication server crashes during a big presentation. You need a plan. Maybe you have an emergency guest network or a quick response team to help users who can't log in. And remember, security isn't a one-time setup. With 802.1x, you're constantly managing certificates, updating methods, and checking for any weak points. Regular audits are key to make sure everything is still locked down tight. 802.1x can also help with legal compliance. Many laws require you to secure your network. By using 802.1x, you're not only protecting your network, but also ensuring you're following rules like GDPR or industry standards for data protection. So why should you care? Because with 802.1x, you're not just keeping the bad guys out. You're managing who can do what on your network, making it both secure and user-friendly. It's like having a high-tech, personalized key system for your digital environment. If this sounds like your kind of thing, you're in the right place. Understanding 802.1x can turn you into a cybersecurity master, protecting networks from all sorts of threats. Implementing 802.1x might seem like a big task, but it's all about taking it step by step. Start by figuring out what your network needs, then set up your authentication system. Test everything in a small area before you go big to avoid any surprises. Security is a journey, not a destination. As technology evolves, so do threats, which means your security measures must evolve too. Regular updates, educating your team, and constant vigilance on who has access to what are all part of keeping your network safe with 802.1x. If you're eager to see how 802.1x works in real-world scenarios, stick around. I've got case studies coming up that'll show you everything from schools to hospitals, how they keep their networks secure with this standard. So if you're passionate about securing networks or just starting your cybersecurity journey, stay tuned. I've got plenty of content that will keep you on your toes. Whether you're a pro or a beginner, we're in this together, making you an expert in cybersecurity one episode at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more cyber adventures. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and stay secure, my friends.